Hey y'all, it is Jessica Gordon, and we're about to talk about how my 4-year-old started kindergarten. I just got a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna clean the kitchen while I'm doing so. That's my yard. So I know that this camera, the back facing camera, is better, but I cannot see, and it's super frustrating. But we still gonna make it happen. So y'all, my 4-year-old turned. Hold on, we live in North Carolina, and so in North Carolina, your child has to be 5 years old before August 31st in order to be able to start kindergarten. Now, I'm a former classroom teacher, and my child's birthday is September 9th. So I felt like it was not appropriate to hold him back for 10 days, hold him back a full year over 10 days. So as I just mentioned, my son's birthday is September 9th, and the cutoff is August 31st. So in my mind, I'm like, baby, he already trying to keep up with his brother. Like, why in the world would I leave him behind a whole year? But then I started reading more about other moms that have had this experience. First of all, the number of other families, other ethnicities, other races that have held their child back in kindergarten. Baby, if somebody got held back in the black community, baby, it was because they could not do the work. Like, we don't hold our kids back for no reason. Okay, we just don't do that. We're not into that. We don't do that. We look at it almost shamefully. So, baby, I just didn't see a reason to hold my child back a year to wait for him to start kindergarten over 10 days. So when time rolled around, you all, to apply for kindergarten, I 100% kept it real with the school and let the school know that my child is 4 years old. I'm interested in him joining. Baby, they sent me my congratulations letter back in March. So I'm super excited, telling my baby, you're going to kindergarten. I'm so excited for you, pulling him out of his preschool, doing all the things to prepare him for kindergarten. And then we went to our pre-assessment, right? We got our pre-assessment. Hope you can hear me when the water's running. Went to our pre-assessment for kindergarten. Oh, hold on. We went to our pre-assessment for kindergarten at the school. And my other child is 6 years old, so he was in kindergarten at the same school last year. And so, I know his teacher. I was the wrong parent. She was like, oh, has Cairo done his psychological testing? I was like, baby, no one has told me anything. She was like, yes, required. Thank you, sis. Appreciate the information. I started researching at night while I was in bed, manipulatives and different things to get him ready for the psychological testing. And baby, do you know, as soon as I bought the manipulatives that night. I bought the manipulatives that same night that the kindergarten teacher shared that with me. That's my children, you all. That same day that she shared it with me, I bought manipulatives on Amazon to help my son with his sight words, to help my son with his addition and subtraction, because that's what I found out would be on the test. So as soon as Khalil, clean off the table, baby. You got your bag and something else over there. So as soon as I found out, I bought the manipulatives on Amazon that night. So the next day, this was on a Tuesday when the teacher told me that. So then on the next day, Wednesday, is when I started calling around to schedule, because I'm like, clearly this testing must be needed before the first day of school. So that gives me 3 weeks to prep my son for the test. Baby, I'm speaking to one of the psychologists, and the psychologist was like, what school did you say your son's going to? I was like, he's going to ... school. The psychologist was like, I'm pretty sure the deadline is Sunday. Y'all, this is Wednesday. And he's telling me that the deadline is Sunday. I was like, no, that's not realistic. Like, there's no way that that's happening. And so he was like, well, just reach out to the school and find out when the deadline is. So sure enough, I reached out to the school to figure out when the deadline is. And baby, it was Sunday. And at this point, I'm in tears because I done bought these manipulatives. They're going to show up tomorrow from Amazon, 2 days. Going to show up tomorrow. And I'm not even going to get to use them because I need to find somebody that can test my child tomorrow. Okay? So I'm in tears. I'm all frustrated. I'm wondering if this is like a sign from God. Like maybe God is telling me that my baby needs to not start kindergarten. I'm just feeling super stressed, super overwhelmed, unsure of what I needed to do. So I ended up finding a psychologist that was able to test my baby the very next day. I was very frustrated with the school too, and I had to let the school know, like, where would I have found this information to know that my son needed psychological testing by August 4th? Because it was nowhere to be found on their website, nowhere to be found on their enrollment packet. I went back to my acceptance letter, the congratulations for 2024, 2025. None of that information was there. So I felt very, very flustered and frustrated. One, that I was not going to have the 3 weeks to work with my child to get him where I felt that he would be prepared for this test. And then two, why aren't you communicating with your family in school? Because if that's the expectation, and I kept it real on my application and told you how old he was, that's something that you should have been sharing with me. So anyway, I had to take the L, bite the bullet. The psychological testing, the psychologist that I found was exceptional. She works in the school district in my area, and she's been doing it for a very long time. So she ended up being amazing. But she's been doing it for like 25 years. She was super, super awesome. The test itself, y'all, was 420